Hey everyone, this is Eleanor with Eleanor's Elite Radio, and today I'm so proud I have Nick with me, and he is from Children's Home Society of Florida. He's got a couple of special events that we'd like to talk about and let you know how you can help. Anyway, so nice to have you, Nick. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great, Eleanor. How are you today?
Very good. Good. It's a beautiful day. I mean, I can't believe we have such weather here for Florida still. And it's already the end of March.
Yeah, it was chilly this morning, but beautiful now.
Are you one of those people that put the heat on? I am.
I'm not. I'm from Chicago, so it never gets too cold here where I need to turn the heat on. Occasionally, but not. But I don't. Maybe a couple times this winter.
I did. I have. I can't stand it. I guess being here, so many years, kind of, they say you get so acclimated to the Florida weather. Because I'm from Long Island, New York, and I'm used to cold weather, but not since 1988.
There you go.
We've been here for many years.
I've been here about 3 years.
Yeah. So. Anyway, Nick, so tell us a little bit about the Children's Home Society of Florida. Let us know what it is that you do for this wonderful organization.
Yeah. Well, my role is primarily fundraising. Working with major donors, working with our events, our sponsors, working with some of the local family foundations and things like that. Children's Home Society is a statewide organization. We have statewide, we have about 130 different community solutions that we provide to local communities in Florida. Here in Brevard, we have about 8 that we focus on. All of our programs, services, and solutions fall into 4 main buckets, we call them. Early childhood education, mental health, innovations in foster care, and innovative community-based education solutions.
Okay.
And that last one sounds kind of broad. Those are 2 of our newer programs. Right. Community partnership schools. It's a partnership with the local school district. We identify the schools that need the most assistance in terms of social services. And
okay, so I was just going to ask you, is it for social services? Okay.
In there. And so we bring everything from counseling. We coordinate with Brevard Health Alliance to bring medical services and dental services. We work, it's a variety of things. The other piece that falls into that category is our Tech Success Program. And so that is an initiative where we're bringing digital literacy to those kids who have fallen behind to make sure they're prepared for careers after high school.
Wonderful.
Or careers or college, obviously.
Right.
But not all kids go to college, as we know, and we want to make sure that those kids that want to start their career are ready for that. And so we focus on, so again, those are the 4 areas that we focus on. Many people hear the name Children's Home Society and they immediately think foster homes and adoption. We do have a group home.
Okay.
We do, some of our kids are available for adoption, and we work with...
Where is the group home?
The group home is actually Hacienda Girls Ranch. So many people in the community are familiar with Hacienda the Girls Ranch. Some of them haven't put it together yet that we've actually run that program for about 20 years, since 1998.
If I remember correctly, the Hacienda Girls Ranch had a lot of issues many years ago. People weren't too happy about having the ranch there, or am I thinking of another?
I don't know. I've been in the community for about 3 years.
Yeah.
And
I was very upset by it because it was such a wonderful program.
Yeah. The history that I know is that it ran as its own program for about 30 years.
Right.
First in Cocoa, and then it moved to what became just north of the airport. It was the group home was there before the airport was there.
Right.
What I know of the history is that original organization just didn't have the capacity to take care of the property and run the program effectively and efficiently. And so they came to Children's Home Society to acquire the property and the program so it could be run efficiently as one program of many as opposed to its own program.
Right. Now, the children that are there adults and children or just children?
So there are 2 group homes there. One is for foster girls 12 to 17, and then the other is for young women 18 and up. We technically don't have a cap on the age. It's a transition. We call it a transitional living home, and so it's for women who are in transition.
Right.
Most of those girls come out of the foster care system with no other place to go, and so we're there to help them. But many times we've had women in their 40s, 50s, 60s, for whatever reason, need a place to stay, and so we've housed those women as well.
Now, is there a protocol that these ladies have to follow? Because I know I was helping another charity, and I'm forgetting which one it was. Oh, Brevard Rescue Mission. And there's certain standards that they have to meet. They have to fill an application. They have to, So is there something, or is this just something woman who's going to leave her husband or has issues with abuse and spouse abuse and wants a place to stay? Is this the place for her and her children?
And it depends on the seriousness of the case. Anyone in a real serious domestic violence situation should go to the domestic violence shelter in town. Ours are more. Our facility is more for women that aren't in that immediate danger.
Right.
They just need a safe place to stay. They're trying to stay out of a situation. Or fall into that situation. So in terms of those serious situations, yes, they should seek help at one of the domestic violence shelters in town. But there are rules that the women have to follow. There's rules regarding them, the times visitors can be there and the types of visitors they can have. There is no alcohol in the home. All of the residents, it's a transitional living home, so it's not meant to be long term.
Right.
And so all of them come up with a plan, and they're expected to work that plan. And they meet with the life coach, the coordinator at the home there, to determine if they're making progress on their plan, and if not, why, and what they need to do to make progress on their plan.
Right.
And sometimes that plan is to graduate high school and go to college for the younger ones. Sometimes that plan is to get into the vocational program they want and finish so that they can start working. So it's really different for everybody. It's made to be flexible. In that program in particular, we don't receive any government funding, and so when we look at that program, in particular, for the girls in transitional living, all the money to run that program comes from the community, and then the girls pay rent, $400 a month, which is obviously a really good deal. That includes all their utilities.
Right.
We provide them, internet and a computer so they can do homework, look for jobs, and everything else they need to do. And so, and then also with that, there is no. It's not that home isn't regulated by the state as a foster home. Okay. It's again, it's a private agreement between us and the girls for them to live there, or us and the women to live there.
We actually need many more places like that, because once you start getting government restricted, there's so many rules and regulations and so many things you have to do, and a lot of these women can't afford to get the help that they need. Yeah. They just need to call somebody and say, hey, I'm here with my child, or I need a little bit of help. Yeah. And without having to strict by very strict rules and guidelines.
Yeah. No, and I think certainly there's probably room out there for more homes. You'd mentioned if they have a child, women with children need help. Just to be clear, our home is just for single women with no child,
no children.
So that's the restriction we have in our home. So that's that. The other program, the program for 12 to 17-year-olds, that is a foster care group home, and so that is regulated by the state. Right. We follow guidelines there, but the girls there also have a code of behavior that they're expected to follow.
Of course.
We have a program that's called the TOPS program. The girls in the TOPS program, the girls have expectations, and as they meet those expectations, they earn points, and then with their points they can buy things out of the store.
Right.
And then also there's levels, and so once you get so many points, you go up to the next level, and all those behaviors that you earned points for at level 1, you don't earn points for anymore because those become expectations.
Right.
And then and it builds as they have show that they can handle the responsibility of each level. With responsibilities comes benefits, obviously, and so as girls go up in level, they're able to spend more time off campus on their own, visit friends. They go to high school like everybody else, so they want to do all the other things that high schoolers do.
Of course.
They want to meet their friends up at McDonald's, and they want to go to the movies, and they want to have a sleepover, and so we work our program so the girls can progressively achieve those things and have those experiences. Go to the prom, join the basketball team, all those things.
So money aside, how else would somebody be able to volunteer and help?
Okay. In the home, there's always a need for people to come in after school and be tutors and mentor type relationships. How about clothing or food? Clothing's always a double-edged sword.
Right.
Good clothing, gently used clothing, usually in the realm more of things like prom dresses, work clothes, things like that, are typically less worn, and so those are typically things that we can accept. There are some. There are in some cases there are some other clothes that we can take, but it's just we've certainly have had our share of bad experiences with people basically giving us clothes that can't be worn.
Right.
And someone like Goodwill is a lot more able to sift through those things and take care of it. We're not set up to do that. We don't have the staff to do that. So we're always cautious with clothes. Food is, we've been focusing on the group homes. Food is always good. We have families out in the community that we work with that also need food. So it could be that can go for the homes or the younger kids. Some of the biggest things, if people want to do a drive and they're saying, what can we get? If they really want to go to the store and buy something, gift cards are always great.
Right.
Because again, it is teenagers as well, and so sometimes the girls are odd sizes. Sometimes they need special products for their hair that the typical person's not going to know to buy.
Right.
And so gift cards are always
helpful.
Gift cards are always helpful
instead of the items, the actual items.
Instead of the actual items, just because it gives us more flexibility.
Of course.
If you have that child that needs a special need, like I said, if someone's not comfortable giving money, if somebody's comfortable giving cash, we are obligated to restrict things how people want. And so if they really, if they want to give cash and say, I want this to go for, girls that are going to prom, we're obligated to spend it that way if the donor asks. And so that is also helpful, and also saves the donor some time from going out to the store and trying to pick out what they need when probably a girl is going to enjoy that experience themselves.
Doing it themselves, of course. How did you personally get so involved with this?
I'm a career, lifelong nonprofit professional. I went to college in Kansas City at Rockhurst University. I did a program there that focused on nonprofit management, and worked for the Boy Scouts coming out of college. I've worked for the United Way. I've worked for several smaller organizations, both here in Florida and in my home state, Illinois. And so I've just worked with nonprofits my whole life, and mainly in the fundraising area, some program management. In terms of getting involved with Children's Home Society, I was first hired by them in 2004. Worked for 5 years in Jacksonville, went back home to Chicago, and they had the opportunity here to get involved in the in about 2014, late 2014, and so I moved back down and got involved down here. But life, like I said,